Welcome back, everyone. We are back with Greg Hanley, the CEO of SOBA Recovery, also Scotty Brown, a co-founder, and the one and only Hollywood actor, Daniel Baldwin, is back. Oh, look at that. That was just such a glamour shot.
Thank you.
You got to hold your collar next time. Turn towards the camera. Thank y'all for being here. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So we were talking during the break about the fact that the holidays are a really difficult time for people that are struggling or battling an addiction. Why is that?
Well, a couple of reasons. A lot of times people drink a lot at holidays because they have anxiety about being with their families. And then a lot of times people aren't with their families and they get lonely.
Sure.
And so originally when we first opened SOBA Clubhouse, it was called SOBAR. And it was a place for people to congregate that just needed to be somewhere. And we would have Thanksgiving, local Thanksgiving dinners for people that maybe they got out of treatment and everybody was still mad at them, or they didn't have a place to go. We would do that at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I think we had a New Year's party, Super Bowl parties, things like that. But
A lot of events.
and a lot of holidays are surrounded by alcohol.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
it is, so it can be very difficult around that time.
No, it all makes
Usually the
sense.
big fights and the problems come because somebody was doing something too much.
Right. Nope, that makes sense. Absolutely. And Daniel, what were you going to say?
Well,
about
I was
that?
going to say, I think another thing that's a component of the holidays is free time. It breaks your normal schedule. There are gaps of time you're not going to work, you're not going to school. You know, so when you add that on top of the fact that you pull in the family dynamics that Greg was talking about. But I think that free time is very, very troublesome to some people that are struggling.
So what can family members do if they have a loved one that is struggling? What can they do to help that person during the holidays?
We beat each
Specifics.
other.
Well, that works. You know, that works too.
He's got a wild family, you know.
They show their love in different ways.
They took on Canada in
Yeah.
some cartoon.
Our treatment centers get really busy at the holidays too. A lot of times kids will come home from school, or family members that people hadn't seen in a while, they show up, and then people realize that they have lost 30 pounds, or you know, something is going on, and again, that's when our phone starts ringing a lot.
That makes sense, because if you have younger kids who have been away at college, you haven't seen, maybe you've just been talking on the phone, then you do see them and you see something's not right.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what can families do?
I think that they can support their, loved one by recommending that, give them the time to go to a group or meetings or whatever, really give them that support to do that, because they really need to do that.
And you mentioned not having all that free time, so it'd be a good idea to be with them, do things together.
Yeah, one of the things that I learned through SOBA was that, I had a basket of behaviors and a basket of things that I did in my life. When I started pulling those things out that were derogatory and bad for me, as far as my sobriety is concerned, you have to replace those.
That's what I was
with
gonna
healthy
say,
things,
yeah.
they're going to meetings, and even just working out and eating well and sleeping well, and lots of things that you need to replace in your basket.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I want to talk a little bit about SOBA Recovery, and Daniel, you're always very open about your story, and you had been to recovery before, but it wasn't until you went to SOBA in Malibu that your life really changed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Scotty really hit it on the head. The difference that I found in any program is the real family and community that is around SOBA. I mean, there are people that will come to meetings that started with Greg, when he first opened it. Still come to the Alumni Thursday night meeting. I mean, it's really...
We had over 200 at the
Really?
Alumni.
Yeah, we had a big
the other night.
speaker.
That blew me away so much that this meeting really started in Greg's garage. When he moved all the stuff from the ranch and he had it in the garage, there was these big chairs, and I'm like, hey, let's get pizza and have a meeting, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, and now it's this huge meeting you can't even get into.
Yeah. Well, and you always talk about that's what makes SOBA different, is once, I don't want to say you're done, because you're always in recovery, right? But you always have a family. It's not like you're done and they send you on your way. You have people that love you have people that care about you. You have people that you can always go to. And how many years have you known Greg, Daniel?
Close to, same as Scotty.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are still the best of friends. You stay connected.
I mean, it's a family, Even when you're angry with your family, they're still your family,
That's
I mean,
right.
It doesn't
And
matter
we go
good or
back.
bad. Yeah, we go back before.
20 years.
20
Really?
years.
Okay.
But it really is a family. It's a family of people. There are people there that I don't necessarily know that well. I had a woman come up to me in a restaurant, and she went like this to me the other day. She went, "Don't you know Greg Hanley?" Greg was standing just behind. Greg
You said, I'm a Baldwin.
Greg was standing just behind me. And I looked at him and went, "You mean him?" And it was a girl who had graduated from his program.
Really?
And she went, "Oh my God, he saved my life." This was the hostess at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really powerful to see that girl, how she just lit up when she saw you.
Yeah,
My son thought it was
yeah.
pretty cool.
And that,
Kind of a rock
and that
star.
goes on the list now. Aren't you Alec, Billy, or Steven's brother? And then, hey,
That was
don't you know
Greg.
Greg Hanley? So
Well,
that's the
he's
fourth.
doing just such wonderful things with his life. And Greg, I mean, honestly, what does it make you feel like when you see people like that and you have these lifelong friends and they say to you, you know, this program that you created, it saved my life. I'm still here because of it.
It makes my heart feel happy.
You are well. You have a joyful heart, and you're just a wonderful human being. And we always love when you can come and hang out on the show. And don't go anywhere, guys. Okay, don't be running away, because after the break, SOBA Texas is open here in San Antonio. We'll find out more about this wonderful recovery center, and we'll also tell you what makes the SOBA approach to recovery the best out there.